Alright, in this video we first run around and fight a Dragoon, then from there we do some raid towers as part of this mod. If you have any questions about the mod, just ask in the comments, I'll let you know. Other than that, I appreciate you for being here. Please like, subscribe, really helps me out a lot. And other than that, let's just get straight into the video. The first story. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife my mother is correct and she needs to be a parent today and she effed it up? I'm waiting at the airport and I need to know if I effed up or not. This week my daughter, she is in middle school, lost a classmate. My daughter is not taking it well, and overall this is her first experience of someone she knows dying. The whole class was excused from school today and the funeral is happening right now. I unfortunately could not be there. I tried, but my PTO was denied and we cannot lose this job. I flew out on Wednesday night and I am coming back now. Our daughter's a mess. She was friends with the girl that passed away. The plan was for my wife, she is unemployed at the moment, to take her to the funeral, mass, and just be there. My wife is more spiritual than the average person and hates all things with the dead, funerals, viewings, and so on. This one is only a mass funeral, no viewing. She believes in ghosts and will avoid funerals like the plague. We discussed it on Wednesday. She said she would take our kid and then go to the gravesite. I got a call from my daughter sobbing that she wasn't going to the funeral. My wife was refusing to take her. When I got her to answer my call, she told me she can't do it and she is scared to go. I called my mom and asked her to pick up my daughter and take her to the funeral. My mom left work and took her. They are there now. I got a call from my wife after, with her crying because my mom tore her a new one. The gist was my mom called her a bad parent and that it was so effed up that she couldn't take our kid to the funeral of a classmate. She wants me to make my mom apologize, and I told her my mom was right. That was something that our daughter needed, and she effed up. That she wasn't acting like a parent because of her fear of the dead. All she needed to do was stay through the mass. We got into a huge phone call argument, and she's calling me a huge dick. My mom is apparently getting texts also, and I told her not to let our daughter know that we were fighting, and if she could look after her for the day. She agreed. After reading the story, I don't think either you or your mom are an a-hole. I just feel like your wife just dropped the ball in that moment. I get being scared of something, but I don't know. I'm of the mindset, or I've always had the mindset, you gotta do what you gotta do, no matter what the scenario is. I've never had the mindset that I'm allowed to not do something if it's something that needs to be done. That's just kind of the way I kind of am. So much so whenever I'm in situations where people say, I can't do something, it just confuses me because you can do it, you're just refusing because of XYZ. It's just something I don't get. So I'm not going to sit there and argue with your wife or say she's an awful person. She just dropped the ball in that moment. I'm not going to demonize her whole character because of that or say she's a bad parent here to say. Especially with your kid being a little bit older, I would expect her to not have that mindset with things. I feel like you just do things for your kid that you don't want to do. You plan trips for them. You chaperone on their trips, take them on like you just do stuff for your kids that you don't necessarily want to do all the time. And I feel like this easily could have been one of those things, but you let your fear, whatever, how big or small it could be, hold you back from that, which to a rational person or most people would see this as not that big of a deal. Take your kids to the funeral, but she has something in her head that makes she feels like she couldn't go. I'm not going to argue with you. I would just be let down like you and your mom are. I would just be let down in a moment and just, keep it pushing. I don't get it. You clearly don't get it. It just kind of is what it is. Unless it's something that's literally physically out of your capability. Like if someone said, hey, get this bow and arrow and shoot a bullseye, then obviously I can't do that. I've never shot a bow before. That scenario is different, but there's scenarios where somebody can say, I can't do that, and it makes sense. This is not one of those scenarios, in my opinion. Get over yourself and do something for your kid. Get over that fear and do it for your kid. With this specific scenario, like I said, if it's something physically out of your capability that's literally impossible for you to do, then you can say that, but this isn't one of those scenarios, so just drop the ball. The next story. Caught my husband. A couple weeks ago, I wasn't sleeping well and tossed and turned all night. I woke up around 4 in the morning and saw my husband on his phone looking at photos of some woman. Immediately confused and ready to be annoyed, I squinted to get a better look. Turns out he was looking at pictures of me. We had schmexed later that morning. Just wanted to share, lol. What a lucky individual. The next story. Took in a homeless girl and it became a life lesson. A year back, I saw a girl around my age on the street. She came up to me and asked me for some money. I have a hard time turning people down, so I gave her some change and walked away. When I came out of the store, she was there again, asked me again if I could get her something to eat. I tried denying, but she just wouldn't go. Then a thought hit my mind that maybe I could take her and have fun, give food, and leave on the streets again. At the time, I had no love whatsoever, and I believed that no one would ever love me, so maybe this could be my chance. My voice was cracking when I asked her if she wanted to stay with me, as it was getting dark. She was hesitant, but I gave her reasons like she could bathe, eat fresh food, freshen up, so she agreed. But when I was taking her to my flat, I had some realization that maybe this isn't right, but I couldn't just flat out tell her to go away now, and I also realized that maybe I effed up taking someone in without even thinking. I asked her story, why she ended up on the streets. She told me that she didn't have many friends and her parents were dirt poor and had high expectations with her, so she couldn't disappoint them. She had gotten a job straight out of university, but the company turned out to be a scam. I literally teared up, cried myself in the bathroom like 10 minutes, and questioned myself and what I had become. I kept her in for 2 weeks, bought her some pair of clothes and essentials, used my connections to help her get a job in a small-sized firm, and helped her find a nearby apartment. I ended up with a best friend. We are now very close to each other, and she sees me as her literal brother. I also met her parents. I never told her what my intentions were when I saw her, but it kills me from the inside. Edit. I needed to add something. I do realize that I am a horrible person, but that thought was the first and last time it happened. It was more like a thought that came on the spot. I'm not that confident either, and I only have had one girlfriend, which lasted 5 years and 4 months straight out of high school. I was depressed at the time, and it is not her story that made me change my mind. The realization that this wasn't a good thing came while we were still walking towards my house. Also about this girl, she had to move out of the city and came here for the job. And to get a place to live in here, you need to pay a lot of money, down payment and stuff. She got to know it was a scam within a week. She kept trying to land a job and was kicked out of her apartment maybe 5-6 weeks after. She tells me every now and then that how lucky she was to meet me just after a day or two of getting homeless. I'm not expecting people to praise me nor this post to blow up, and I did not expect people to say good things about me. Oh my lord. I did not expect people to say good about me. I needed the confirmation that I am a horrible guy because life is not great for me either. End post. I feel like you're beating yourself over the head, especially if you're saying it was just a moment in time that you thought that way. Everything that's happened since then and all the good you've done is kind of, in my opinion, erased that one thought that you had. So I feel like you're over guilty over something that you quickly corrected. I guess you writing this post was your way of getting it out there, getting it off your chest. But like I said, I feel like you feel overly guilty about something that I feel like you've written the wrong for. She has a job, she has money now, she's no longer homeless, she's very grateful for the opportunity that you gave her. So I feel like that all trumps the you having that trash thought in the moment, or what your initial intentions were. So, and most people kind of agree in the comments below, saying it shows real growth, catching yourself mid-mistake and changing the course. A lot of people respect that. People saying that guilt that lingers is just integrity, so doing its job. So like I said, I feel like you're doing fine. I feel like you're good. You can calm down. Also, I feel like the way you talk down about yourself is also not helping. I feel like if you do feel that way, I feel like you should work on yourself. Figure out ways to change your thinking on matters. So you don't really seem that confident. You don't keep saying you're lonely. Keep saying, the whole post you kind of just talk down on yourself. Stop doing that. Try to change your mindset on things. Work on yourself. Life gets better, I promise. The next story. I gave her spa days and showed her off constantly. She posted that I never gave her attention. My ex, 24 female, who I'll call Missy, and I were together for almost 5 years. We got engaged 4 years in and broke up 6 months after that. I wasn't perfect. I had anger issues I was working through, and I tended to shut down instead of communicating when things got hard. I own that. But I was the only one with a job, the only one doing chores, the only one caring for our pets. We'd made each other promises. I'd work on my anger, she'd look for work and contribute more. I kept mine, she didn't. My now boyfriend Caleb, 24 male, and I had been dating while Missy and I were still together. We were open and both dating other people. She said it was fine, but would get upset whenever I texted him or spent time with him. She never got like this with my other partners. We never resolved it. I was also working full-time in a crisis center, coming home hollowed out every day, to a messy home and pets that had not been fed yet. She played on her phone all day while I was at work. Meanwhile, I was giving her spa days, scrubbing her feet, and showing her off constantly on social media. I was in love, then I fell out of love, and I broke up with her as soon as I realized the love was gone. The morning after the breakup, she had her mom drive her past multiple crisis centers to the one I worked at 30 minutes away. While she was there, my boss called me to ask me about my relationship with Caleb, who was also my coworker at the time. Missy denied saying anything. My boss made my life hell after that. I quit 6 months later. She also somehow turned nearly all our mutual friends against me. I still don't know what she told them. Those people already have a picture of me that I never got to be a part of painting. I posted hiking pictures with Caleb recently. Missy posted a story shortly after about how painful it is to see someone give a new partner the attention she begged for years. How she just wanted to be shown off, just wanted someone to be proud of them. I sent her a private message. I told her I did give her that. The spa days, the social media posts, the pride. Told her the imbalance was what wore me down. She responded that she didn't even remember why she posted it and apologized. I left her on red. The version of me in her post doesn't match anything I remember living, and I know I'll never get acknowledgement for that. I still struggle to keep up with chores because Caleb keeps beating me to them. I think I'm going to be okay. Gave everything to a relationship that took everything. Ex posted about feeling neglected after seeing my happy photos with my new BF. Sent her an honest private message. She deflected, currently living my best life with the love of my life. End story. I feel like you didn't do anything wrong in this one. I feel like I'm 100% with you. I feel like as far as Missy goes, there's just some people that will forever be victims, will never admit they did anything wrong, will always deflect whenever anyone tries to hold them accountable. And those people will forever be children who are just going to keep running to the same thing until they realize they're the problem. So you kind of dodged a bullet. Pretty cool that you're living your best life with the love of your life. Hope things continue to go that way. It was funny, the little jab that Caleb beat you to all the chores versus Missy not doing any chores. Seems like you're really happy you really got that off your chest. Like I said, there's just some people who are always going to be childs. There's always going to be people who are just childlike with their thinking. It's always someone else's fault. Someone else is always the problem. They're always the victim. Can't help those people. They got to figure it out themselves. So hopefully Missy figures things out. And then on top of her ducking and being a coward, instead of admitting, yeah, I did post that because I was feeling the type of way, just saying she doesn't know why she posted it. You left her on red, so would have did the same thing. Continue to show it off. Let her know what she's missing. The final story, the reason why you're here. Husband's girlfriend wants a baby. Give me advice. My husband and I have been together since we were 22. We are 38 now. We have 2 wonderful sons, a teen and a preteen. When our youngest was 3, we opened our marriage because I wanted to explore. We did some swapping a few times. It was okay, but I realized I really like being with women. Eventually I told my husband I was done exploring, but he could continue if he wanted. We talked a lot. He agreed after we discussed some ground rules. I never really dated anyone else. I had brief relationships with a few women, but that's it. He met Sarah, very successful career, 40, and there was an immediate spark. Sarah said she wanted to meet me. I told her that as long as their relationship didn't interfere with our life or his responsibilities as a dad and husband, he is very involved in our kids' lives with household responsibilities. I was completely okay with it. So one weekend a month, they would meet and have fun. A few times they went on mini trips. I actually enjoyed seeing my husband happy, and Sarah even sent me a few videos. She clearly stated that she had no intention on replacing me. Now on Saturday, she texted my husband saying she wants to see both of us at a restaurant. We showed up, and she dropped the bomb. She wants my husband to have a baby with her. She said it would be like being a single mom by choice, except the baby would know who the dad is, and my husband would be involved visiting the child and being a part of their life. My husband said this is 100% my decision, and that if I don't feel comfortable, it won't happen. They both said that if I say no, the relationship would continue, so I shouldn't feel pressured that I'm breaking them up. She could find another donor, I assume. I can't stop thinking about it. Am I ruining my husband's happiness if I say no? If I say yes, am I ruining my kid's future and our marriage? I hate to admit it, but I always wanted a daughter. What if my husband and she have a girl? Then she would be the woman who finally gives him a daughter. I'm a mess. Please give me advice. You need God. You're telling me this woman's at 40 years old, successful career woman, said, I want to be a single mother by choice. So does she have that much bread stacked up to where she could just stop working and just be a mom full time? She gonna go back to work? Like, I don't see how you be a single mom and have a career. Those two things just don't correlate. So this girl just seems to be off her rocker in my head. That doesn't make sense. On top of, like you said, as long as their relationship doesn't interfere with you and your marriage and your kids that you have with your husband, then there's no issue on your part. But if another baby's produced, that's going to be a conflict. Not a conflict, but it's going to be something that he has a responsibility for, that you agree to by saying, yes, it's okay. And at this point, I agree with a lot of the comments saying you need to cut the relationship off now, because of course an accident's going to happen now, because, you know, she's probably want to hit him with the freaking leg lock and he's going to be like, oh no, I busted. So this one is God is what you need. Turns out my dumb self should have shut up and kept scrolling. So before I blow the load, let me finish off her updates. So update number 1, updates on my husband and his girlfriend wanting to have a baby. This is February 2024, 2026. I talked to my husband. He said Sarah a few times, asked him if he likes to have more kids casually, and complimented him about what an involved dad he is. But that's it. I asked him what he thinks about her request to get her pregnant. He said he really loves her and loves having more kids. And if that's what makes her happy, he would do it in a heartbeat if it was up to him only. I told him he has 2 solutions. 1, we separate/divorce, and he can get Sarah pregnant with 50-50 custody of our kids. He will have time to take care of her and her newborn too, like he did for me when I gave birth. He should also explain the whole thing to our kids. 2, he gets snipped before touching Sarah or any other woman again. I'm not asking you to be monogamous with me, but I demand you get snipped. He didn't reply and wanted to think. I guess as of right now, it's 100% on him. The next update comes on February 25th, so the next day. Would you choose a divorce in my situation? Does divorce worth it when marriage is open? I had a long talk with my husband this morning before leaving for work, and now I'm trying to decide what's best for me and my kids. I'm very emotional, so please be gentle. This morning his girlfriend texted him about his decision and joked that she should adjust their meetup schedule according to her fertility days, and said she is so excited to try for a baby with him. I asked him the same question, what is your decision? He said he decided that he wants to have a baby with her and will figure out a routine so that everything works out the same. I told him in that case, I'll be filing for divorce. He asked me, why? What are you trying to achieve? You can leave and then only see the kids 50% of the time. It will cost us a lot of money in legal fees. You go from nice house with your kids to a small apartment near your work. To achieve what? You already can see other people. What would divorce bring you? What is the benefit for you? He said that whether we divorce or not, the baby will happen. He also said he won't neglect any of his responsibilities towards our kids and me because he'll have a new baby. According to him, the most logical solution would be to tell the kids about Sarah when she gets pregnant and explain that they will have a half sibling. He wants to come clean and just continue our lives. I got very emotional and said I don't want him in my life. He said she wouldn't be a part of my life and that he could arrange visitations with Sarah and the baby so that he goes there instead of her baby coming to our house. He kept saying that this way everything would be open and honest. The kids would be informed and they could even meet the future baby. He said there is literally zero benefit to divorce since our marriage is already open, aside from draining our bank account. I'm very emotional right now and planning to speak to a lawyer to get advice. Has anyone dealt with a situation like this? Hell no. Final update. April 21st, 2026. I've been getting many DMs. Here's the final update. 1. I met with the attorney but decided to stay and work things out. 2. I've been seeing a therapist who is very familiar with E and M. I don't know what that means. 3. Sarah got pregnant almost immediately. Yes, she was 40. Damn. 3. Sarah got pregnant almost immediately. Yes, I gave my husband consent, but I also told him if it affects our life, I will be gone. She's due at the end of November. Jesus. 4. She and my husband had a long talk. She's moving back to Canada to be closer to her sister. In fact, her moving day is soon, and my husband is helping her. He will be with her after she gives birth. She told my husband that once her baby is older, she would like to start to date to get married, so she will break up with my husband. My husband understood because he has zero plan to end our marriage. Even if I leave, Sarah has no interest in being a parent to our kids, so it's for the best. Sarah wants my husband to be in his kid's life. Occasional visits, FaceTimes and stuff. 5. My youngest is very excited. My oldest at first got really mad, but now told my husband he wants nothing to do with the baby, which my husband respects. 6. My in-laws are confused, LOL. My mother-in-law hopes she finally gets a granddaughter. Overall, life is good. Thank you. Yeah, to be honest with you, you got finessed. You got straight walked down. Your husband did the opposite of everything you guys agreed to. You clearly were upset and didn't want this pregnancy to happen. You felt uncomfortable, which they said if you're uncomfortable, they were okay with that. Their relationship wouldn't end. But for whatever reason, your husband walked you into a corner and you folded like a lawn chair. He said, whether we divorce or not, this baby is happening. So he made his choice at the end of the day. And for whatever reason, you sitting on your high horse thinking he still chose you, when in reality he didn't. And the fact that she got pregnant immediately at 40 years old, she must be very, very healthy. That's crazy. But this one is insane. So I really want to see the comments for this one. I really want to see the discourse. I feel like most people kind of agree with me. You got walked into a corner and folded. That this whole story doesn't make sense. All of this is you guys' fault. You clearly were upset but didn't want to stand on your boundaries. And now this whole complicated mess. Your son is the most logical in the situation. He's pissed off. He's like, what the hell's going on? You both are weird. But yeah, that's all I got for this video. I was sick last week, so missed a video. So if you're here, thank you. If you made it this far, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I love you, in fact. With that being said, don't really got any message. Want to hear your thoughts on these stories. And that's pretty much it. All right, bye.